Top right hand side in our next series, our Blue Protoss player is Creator. And he is going up against the Chinese Protoss. In the bottom left hand side, MacSed looking for his first win today. In fact, both of them are. MacSed and Creator both 0-2, 0-4 in the group. So Ragnarok is currently 1-1, 2-2. Bunny is 3-1, 6-2. Innovation 2-0, 4-0. And then MacSed and Creator 0-2, 0-4. So obviously the bottom of the table will spice up a little bit here. After this, we are going to have Creator versus Ragnarok as well. So we're going to see here a little bit more development on the bottom of the table. And then our final two matches today are the Innovation matches. Innovation versus Ragnarok and Innovation versus MacSed as well. So still more Innovation games still to come. So that's still going to be happening too. And looking forward to it. Alright, so getting this rolling. For game number 1. Stalker and Ascender coming up on each side of the map and getting this underway. Probe scouting around from MacSed comes around the back and there's a little bit of a nibble to try and disrupt the workers. Stopping the double stacking from being a thing for as much as possible. Again, the more of that you do, the better a situation this turns out for yourself. So, turning into a pretty good setup here so far. To see the Stalker able to pick off the initial probe in this PvP. Only mirror matchup of the day after that TVT. So again, after this we got some TVZ, some TVP, and some PVZ left. So again, a bunch of non-mirror matchups to come in the near future of Stargate. On Stargate action happening. Creator continuing with a couple more Adepts here. Both players beginning now to expand post Stargate. So mirrored builds, minus the fact that Creator has got 2 Adepts that MacSed has decided not to build. And a couple of Adepts just going to continue to come across. Try and see what happens. As we do have the probe. And again, just popping out here in the next few moments, so. Again, continue to set up into this. With Phoenix on Phoenix. Now the players do know about this as well. Obviously hallucinations allow you to scout and they allow you to see there is indeed a Stargate on Stargate. So immediately both players will start up their kind of Stargate versus Stargate styles. MacSed straight away throws down a second Stargate and don't expect Creators to be much later. In fact, there it is right now. So these guys are going to mirror each other. The reason being, when you go Phoenix versus Phoenix, if you stop making Phoenix, even if you start making Phoenix, you can't stop, because as soon as you stop making Phoenix, you're very vulnerable for a while. As your opponent flies in with more Phoenix, and not only do the Phoenix win the air fight, but then they lift up everything on the ground and win the ground fight. So, if you stop super early, when you kind of have 1 or 2 Phoenix, it's possible to transition, and it's a good way of kind of changing things up a bit. If you really go for the much later kind of stage, though, I mean, you just can't really stop it all. It becomes so difficult. As you do see the 2 Adepts. I mean, they're shading, but they do absolutely nothing because, well, I mean, there's Phoenix here, and they can just lift them up and stop any sort of actual damage being done. So nothing gained here by Creator. Just 2 Adepts that he made that were never really going to be that useful in Phoenix on Phoenix Wars. I mean, the Phoenix count is pretty even. Creator's just a little bit behind on his. Was a little bit slow on the Stargate in general, so that plus potentially maybe Chrono Boost a bit differently. There's a few reasons why, but the difference is very minimal. It's like 10-15 seconds at most in terms of Phoenix timing. So especially if Creator stays defensive, it makes no difference at all, because by the time MacSed's units get across the map, Creator's defensive units are out in position. He scouted with the Adepts. I mean, scouting with the Adepts is kind of useless anyways, though, because you still have the hallucination, and the Sentry in the Phoenix versus Phoenix fight is not going to do much more. I mean, I guess you still kind of see second Stargate, which is nice, but I think it's pretty much assumed when you both... Obviously, I guess I was just saying you can change up, so I guess, you know... I guess it's nice, but again, like, I think overall he was going to get that information anyway with a hallucination. And so in the long run, it's not actually that great just for Scout anyways, because it's still 2 Adepts that he made that were lost, and that's kind of the difference in resources right now. Well, that's not maybe making a big deal. It might be why MacSed is just a little bit faster on the Fleet Beacon, a little bit faster on continuing with another Phoenix here, and why he's slowly starting to turn this into a little advantage. I mean, he's about to have 9 Phoenix with his 10th start. Again, it's very little things, It's very little things between the two of them. I mean, very small differences. The Adepts aren't that big of a deal, is what I'm trying to say. Whether they were useful or not, and losing them or not, I guess it doesn't really matter all so much. Two more Phoenix coming out from both players. Anion Pulse Crystal's already on the way up here from MacSed. That's quite far along compared to the Fleet Beacon of Creator, which just finished, so it's actually going to be about a 30-second difference, or thereabouts. And that really could give MacSed a bit of a fighting chance here. Come across the map as he has that upgrade and advantage for a little while, and if he can just get a few shots off in his favor, this can already start to turn around the Phoenix count just like that. So, see if MacSed tries to make use of this. Adepts kind of paid for themselves by delaying mining, though. Did they delay mining, though? I mean, they got into the main base, got one hit off on a probe, and the Phoenix lifted both of the Adepts. So they didn't even force workers to run away. So, I wouldn't say it was worth... I still don't think it was worth 2 Adepts, right? Phoenix coming in and lifting up as we do see the other Phoenix from Crater. Getting set up right now. More Stargates on the way out. So MacSed actually goes up to 4 Stargates. I mean, so does Crater. Adds 2 more as well. I'm just going to see a couple probes continuing over. They made like half a probe line evacuate from a natural. Oh. Well, if I was actually a real caster, I would have told you guys that. Okay, my bad then. Apologies. Maybe they did okay then. Such a useless discussion anyways. I mean, it was 2 Adepts. Important or not important, it was evened out. That was the whole point of everything. Phoenix lifting up an Adept, getting that kill there. MacSed is 10 workers apiece. 10 Phoenix apiece, sorry. So still pretty evened out here at the moment. And I see a Stalker and a Sentry poking their way through that pylon there and stealing a little bit of damage. And again, Phoenix Wars looking to try and continue in a moment as we freeze up. That's not good. That's really not good. Is this me? I feel like this has to be me. Aye. Well, I just had a bit of an internet destruction. Apologies for that, guys. The Phoenix do jump forwards there and the fight continues. Sorry, I'm not even quite sure what happened with all of what just happened there. Apologies. But, yeah, 13 Phoenix to 9. MacSed takes the lead over Creator in this fight. And so we are going to be seeing the extra Stargate still coming down. So going up to a 5th Stargate now, Creator. Really just committing hard. I mean, MacSed seems pretty content with the 4 Stargates at the moment. Adding a couple of Zealots in to go on the ground too. And, I mean, with the Phoenix advantage that he started to get himself here, he's starting to just have a position in this game where he can pretty much bring this to an end. Like, he has pretty much already got himself in this winning position. As you see, the Phoenix going up against each other there for a moment. Zealots going up against each other too. And, I mean, still, it just feels like MacSed's always the one that's making pickoffs, making things happen. And again, as soon as he wins the fight in the sky, those Phoenix are going to go huge, lifting up units on the ground. And they can lift up all the workers, and they can go crazy from there. Probe gets lifted, it gets taken down. And there's now 5 Phoenix on the way up from Crater. We're going to be seeing him taking a 4th base as well up to the top side. MacSed moving out into the center here. I feel like MacSed's just going to get aggressive any second now. Like, he's been poised to attack for a while. He obviously knows he's got a bit of an advantage, though it is slipping away from him, the fact that Crater had an extra Stargate for a little while here. Phoenix jumping in, grabs one right away. And that's a decent start. Guardian Shield coming down too, as these Phoenix will press in. And I mean, again, the numbers were there in favor of MacSed, and they should be able to clean this up then. On the ground, Crater is not winning out either, and that's only going to get worse as the Phoenix obviously become part of it too. All the Phoenix from Crater die, and MacSed will take game number 1 of this. Just restart my StarCraft just to make sure that we don't lag again, hopefully. I don't know if it's actually going to make any difference, but better try something or nothing. Bottom right hand side, our blue Protoss player is Creator. Down a map here, as MacSed gets 1 on the board. So MacSed takes a lead in this as we go into game 2. Let's see if he can keep it up. As the Phoenix Wars went his way. Phoenix versus Phoenix is crazy, like all the things that can happen and stuff like that. It's pretty funky. So meanwhile, again, Creator and MacSed are currently fighting at the bottom of this group. MacSed will still have Innovation to play, while Creator still has to play Ragnarok. Ragnarok is 1-1, but has Creator and Innovation to play as well. Bunny's played all of his games at 3-1. I mean, if I had to predict something right now, I really feel like Inno's still got a pretty good chance to get top of the group. I think Inno's a big favorite against Ragnarok and against MacSed, so if you can win those, he'd finish first. And then it kind of comes down to, I feel like, obviously, the result of Creator MacSed. But then Creator Ragnarok could be pretty important too, because if, you know, imagine Creator comes back here, just theoretically. Creator would be 1-2. Then if Ragnarok, say Ragnarok loses to Innovation, he would also be 1-2. So then Ragnarok Creator becomes very important for third place in the group. But of course, again, that all really depends how the other matches go. And if, of course, Creator can pull back here, because if MacSed wins this, then he's going to be 1-2. Creator's 0-3. That pretty much eliminates Creator. And then it comes down to, you know, can MacSed take down Innovation? What can Ragnarok do? It becomes a very different scenario. So best to just let it play out, just theorizing a little bit, letting you guys know that basically anything can still happen in this. As we get this ready to go in a few moments. You see a Stalker just poking a probe right towards the upper left side. Stargate coming down from Creator, so a similar opening to the last game. Stargate right away after the Stalker Sentry. He builds an extra couple of Stalkers though, so this starts to look kind of aggressive actually. With the extra 2 Stalkers, he doesn't have that much gas to actually build anything out the Stargate right away. I guess he'll just about have the gas for an Oracle. 2 more Stalkers also coming down from MacSed, but again, he is still yet to throw down his tech. His Nexus will take a slight lead because of it. He has a lot of gas in the bank, MacSed. What's he going to do? As a Hallucinated Phoenix from Creator will lead the charge in. Hallucinated Phoenix from MacSed also heading across to try and get some information, pick up on just what is going on here. So Hallucination scouts into the main base as we see the Oracle starting a Chrono Boost. Oh, does he get rid of the Hallucination? He does. So MacSed denied vision, unable to know what's actually coming out of Creator at the moment. And I really feel like there's a chance for Creator to get something done here. I mean, the Oracle? Well, the Oracle might just show up and there might not be... Okay, there's a shield battery in the main. So there will be a defense against the Oracle. Stalker's in the center of the right side, pick off a probe. So again, MacSed still completely kept in the dark here. Has no idea what's going on, has no idea what the build of Creator is. Pretty sure he doesn't even know if there's an expansion. Still hasn't seen that, so really in the dark right now. MacSed is potentially, I wouldn't say he's in trouble, because Creator's just setting up very regularly here. I mean, a couple of Oracles going into Stalkers. But there is that potential for Creator to get a lot of damage done through the surprise factor due to maybe the non-expectation of the Oracle, especially because the first Oracle waits. Especially when the first Oracle waits. It turns into a interesting situation because maybe MacSed doesn't expect the second Oracle to then show up as well. And so here we go, the Oracle's gonna come in and take down a whole bunch of probes. So 3 workers getting picked off, 4, 5 workers picked off here, 6 workers going down. Going into the main base, gonna get a whole bunch more probes as well. Getting a whole bunch done. And yeah, a lot of probes going down here. As you do see, well, like I said, gonna go down by about 10 workers. He's just gonna type out GG. Okay, I mean, and kick this off as we get this ready to roll. We start off to the top left-hand side. Having tied things up here, our blue Protoss player. This is Creator. And at the bottom right-hand side, the yellow Protoss player is MacSed. What did I do to my hair? I didn't do anything to my hair. I just put tinsel around my headset. What tournament's happening later today? We're casting the WardiTV Christmas Invitational number 3, Qualifier 2. So it's our last qualifier before we start putting together the groups for the main tournament. That's going to be playing out over the next couple of weeks. So a little bit of StarCraft action coming in from there. Going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. We had a fun qualifier the other night with some unexpected results. And hopefully tonight's qualifier will be a lot of fun. Am I consistent doing a cosplayer stream? You mean, am I considering to do a cosplayer stream? I did. We did have a chat the other day about doing a Christmas tree cosplayer stream, where I dress up as a Christmas tree. I found a very fun outfit of a Christmas tree. I thought it was pretty great, but chat disagreed with me. So, well, chat didn't disagree, but chat wasn't very enthusiastic about making it happen. So, I was completely. I don't know. We have a Christmas tournament, which we're doing the qualifier for tonight. So I was kind of down to make it like a a stretch goal in the match arena or something, but I don't know what to do for it. Anyways, that's what I'm trying to say. You guys are not waiting for Snow White. Snow White was never a promised deal. We were laughing about it, and then you guys were just bullying me about it. Aye, aye, aye. You guys are the worst. Once again, from both players, Stalker Sentry opener, and again, a Stargate opening from both. So this is the third game in a row. Creator's gone Stargate. Nice probe scout. He actually sees the Stargate of MacSed right away. So Creator, picking up that info early, can begin to respond to this. Now, having his Stargate scouted pretty much always means you have to go into a... you pretty much always have to go in towards like a Phoenix of your own, as MacSed here. Because you've been scouted out, the chances that your opponent goes Stargate and then just builds Phoenix because he knows you're going Oracle... It just means that you have to go Phoenix. So it should just be Phoenix versus Phoenix here to set up once again in this PvP series. Series number 7 out of 10 today, guys. Again, after this, we're going to be doing Creator versus Ragnarok, and then we have the final 2 innovation matches coming up as well. So we still have 3 best of 3s left after this one today, and then another tournament in 2 hours and a bit as well. So, again, loads of action today, lots of games, lots of casting. That's what we're all about. Hallucination of Creator sees what's up. Oh, Creator goes for an Oracle. That's so weird. Oracle into a Twilight. So, Creator's going to be the one changing it up this time. Now, what has actually MacSed seen if he's scouted? He has seen the Stargate, and he saw the Oracle on the way. Now, that is very different, as we see MacSed now going to try and come up this ramp. We'll see 3 Stalkers and a Sentry. That's not weird, because they were the initial units anyways. Oracle on the top right, just going to wait for its chance to kind of dive in. I imagine this will be a Dark Shrine off of the Twilight Council. Oh, that'll... Okay, Blink. I thought maybe Dark Shrine was the idea because he was being so sneaky. He saw that it was just going to be a Phoenix opening from MacSed and maybe the mind game. So I guess Blink works as well because you also know it's going to be Phoenix. Blink works very well against those flying units because you can get in position a lot of the time to deal with it. Second Stargate drops down from MacSed, so he's completely sold on the idea that this is Phoenix versus Phoenix. The Oracle flies in and will get just a couple of kills. Yeah, I mean, this is a suicide mission. It knows it. It's 4 kills. Not bad, though. It's a little something, and again, have to use it at some point, right? How is the Innovation Bunny series today? Honestly, not that great. Really nothing to shout and scream about. It was pretty uninteresting. And not uninteresting, it was just a bit one-sided. The first game was better than the second. I think Bunny was saying he was a bit ill today, so he hasn't been playing so great. He says he goes 3-1 in the group. But yeah, I wouldn't say that the Bunny Innovation was a super spectacular series or anything along those lines. Phoenix coming over, picking up a hallucination right away. But it's going to be done soon. 3 extra gates. That's 5 gates. I mean, that's quite aggressive. If you want to go across the map here as these Phoenix wandering into the main are going to realize, I mean, at this point, I think you already kind of knew there was no Phoenix up. And so now, MacSed has to try and transition. Robo-Forge and a Twilight coming down. He did realize this before he let his second Stargate finish, so he never got set up truly into full-on Phoenix versus Phoenix play. So obviously that's quite important, but this is going to be huge. I mean, this is what? 4 plus 2, so it's 6 gates in total. It's a lot of Stalker Warpins, and there's just not anything ready for MacSed for this at the moment. You know, while MacSed did end up seeing the Twilight Council, he still didn't see those extra gateways. He doesn't know about this one, obviously. So I don't think MacSed realizes just how many Stalkers are about to hit his front door. Otherwise, he wouldn't be going for +1. He would have prioritized that Immortal a little bit faster. Now it might already just be a little bit too late as a few Stalkers come in. They poke and prod and already draining that shield battery energy. 2 more shield batteries added into the front here. And as we see, Creator just pushing all the way into this, and well, already one zealot going down. I mean, you could just target the shield batteries, or you could get the pylon if you wanted to, but empower all the shield batteries moving on from this point. Using that blink, of course, allows them to just pull back, and so far no damage really taken. This Immortal Heal will get blinked on top of. That's generally how you do it. Jump on top of it instantly, get rid of it ASAP to stop the Immortal count building up. Creator, with the switch into Blink Stalkers, rather than continuing with the Stargate, is going to take game number 3, and the